yes, I still exist. It's always seemed like a bad time to record over the past few weeks, and instead of putting down some sort of note or suggestion or some sort of idea for things to have done, I simply let things lapse and argued that it would be fine with myself. I have also been very guilty of falling into the old stress-based patterns, the feeling that nothing will be worth doing most of the time, and that it wouldn't be worth putting out an inferior product, so rather just put out nothing at all. But I feel the need to let things out today. I've gotten to pretty close to the end of my rope, I guess you could call it. I don't really have an explanation as to why things are happening the way they are. I suppose it would be similar to saying that my brain chemistry is acting up in a very particular way. I blame myself for wanting to rely on such simple things as a walk to calm down or a coffee to wake up. Blame myself for being too weak to have done anything. I try and detox over a 2-day period when it is an average of 3 days that usually makes the difference. So I've constantly put myself through an incredibly stressful situation with no actual reason why. I blame myself for all the ills in my life and feel that if I were to try and rally against them, that it would be not only a waste of time, as they would still remain, but that it would simply give me a sense of false hope that would then end up blossoming into a feeling that there is a chance that things could be better. And that seems like something that would take too much time out of my current situation. Like, as if there were some way that I could just have things be the way that I want them to be. As if I have some sort of extra planar grasp over the world. As if I can control things that are beyond my control if I simply wish for them hard enough. And yet, I'm too afraid to take charge of the things that are comfortably within my grasp, because I'm afraid of the responsibility, perhaps. Or perhaps I'm afraid of change. Perhaps a lot of things. There could be change as early as today, or as late as tomorrow, or never. But it all feels the same. It all feels like a catastrophe. It feels like every day I wake up not knowing what could possibly happen that day. It could be anything from nothing to whatever I desire. And fear is a crippling emotion. Fear is something that I've been attempting to combat for the greater part of my life, and the ways that I've been doing so have been various and sundry, yet few and far between. It's been sometimes years between my attempts where I would be in a state that I consider autopilot, for I dare not actually try and have input or sway upon my station. For if I were to do so, I would have to accept it as my own. In this universe, there is no such thing as ownership, as far as I can tell. We are simply given things. Now, what you take, I suppose, could be argued to be yours, but is it really? Or is it just something that is borrowed forcefully? Or is there a difference between the two? Does it really matter? As you can see, I'm slightly confused. And time as it stands is strange.